So with the entrepreneurship that goes on within the Black community has grown a lot within statewide, you know, where there's a lot of black, you know, in certain cities or whatever. And I see the growth. I see everything that's going on, all the non-for-profits that are Black that are coming about, you know. So when those resources are stripped and taken away, it makes it harder for those small businesses, for those single moms who are trying to buy homes. It makes it even more harder for those single moms who are trying to buy homes and run businesses that are trying to do something with themselves. So this isn't just about, it's Black women just sitting collecting welfare. Mm-hmm. You understand where I'm coming from? Because that's not the case. Oh, you know, you've got some that are doing that, but at the same time, you have some that are trying to get out of their situations. School. So when you strip those benefits for moms and children to go to school or to be able to get into certain private schools for the funding that they may offer, grants and different things, it hurts the community majorly. So I'm asking you, as a Trump supporter, how do you feel with the decisions and the policies that Trump has made so far as of today?
I actually agree with the majority of them. It's a few that I know that may be hurting people, but in which we actually all affected by, even with the me being in trucking, we dealing with the goods and imports and exports, some of the supply and demand when it comes to products to deliver to companies or whatever.
So that's affecting your household, right?
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah. So, but
in hours at work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say affecting, you're in trucking. So refrigerated trucking, you haul food.
Yeah, I do. Well, now I do, but before that, I do other products.
That's another issue. ICE is out here raiding. I understand the immigration law; it is what it is. But at the same time, who else is working those farms? Are you going to get out there and pick the fruits and the vegetables and so on?
We have a homeless population in our city that's very high. A lot of men and women are looking for jobs in the city, and I would rather them get to work because they've been homeless for years, living on the streets, living downtown, and they've been suffering for years. Larry Rice had lost his funding years ago. So I would rather the people in our city that's homeless, that need needs to be met first. Then we deal with everyone else on the outside. So
let's talk about the food, though, because if it's a food shortage coming about, if these people are being, the Hispanic community are being collected by ICE, harassed, beat up and everything else and put in cages, chicken cages. How do you feel about that?
I don't really feel too sorry, to be honest with you, because I care more about the people in our community right now, home first. We have a lot of Black farmers here. A lot of people in our city can be Black farmers, can probably do a better job than people from other countries. So I get it. I don't want any human being to be disenfranchised, but I'm thinking about home first. We have to take care of business at home first. And so when I see people on our corner always asking, begging for jobs, those are Americans. They're not Hispanic. They're not coming from other countries. They are living right here. So when they get done, so they can get, handle the business home at first, then we can talk about help saving the world. But let's save the people here in our community because they need the jobs.
America is a melting pot.
But America have homeless people inside of the country that's been suffering for years.
That's very well said. And some of those homeless people are disabled vets.
Some.
Okay. Some of them are drug addicts. Some of them are disabled that's on the street. And some of them have given up. Mm-hmm. And when you have given up and there's no hope, how can you just expect someone to be able to function and get up and get a job?
Well, because the thing is, if we can put all that effort into people that are not from this country and try to save them, we can do the same effort on getting programs for people that's on drugs and disability and mental illness.
How when Trump has cut it? How when Trump has cut all of that?
Well, no, we have groups that are that have funding and get grants or either personal donations to help them out, because certain things, money can be used in certain areas.
That money was frozen. So the utilities for you to be able.
Federal funds went to dealing with the homeless population. Everyone has been putting stuff, helping the community off of their own dime.
Off of their own dime.
Yes.
Not many though. And there's thousands of homeless people. And the way the cost of living is, there's more people going homeless every day.
Well,
and with these programs that Trump has cut, it makes it even worse for the community.
Well, I beg to differ. I believe that right now there's a lot of jobs that's available. and they can simply get back involved into the working environment.
So if you don't have a place to live, and I'm living on the street, no place to shower, and you expect me to be able to make it to a job every morning, and I'm sleeping on the streets?
Well, I expect the people in the community that can do the work and help, they will help.
But there's not many people in the community that are willing to help.
Yes,
a lot of our homeless people have, not many, a lot of our homeless people have been flushed away, have been thrown away. A lot of people are afraid for even a homeless person to approach them, to even ask for money. You should see the way they're talked to.
Are you talking about illegal immigration? Or are you talking about the actual citizens? It
don't matter. Human is human.
Well, that's what
homeless is homeless.
When you was asking a question about,
we started off with illegal immigration. Right, yes, I did.
Right. So and I answered the question about that. You asked me, how do I feel? I told you my opinion. I care about the people here. The people here in the city that's homeless in our state, I would rather help them first.
But the programs Trump has cut won't help them either.
All the programs were not catered to help them. I get some agencies lost funding, but there's other money.
Brother, most of your agencies the funding was under DEI.
Well, some of them not. Some of them wasn't.
Okay, well, let's say this. For instance, your Catholic charities have lost all of their funding to help for food pantries, for utility help, rent and mortgage payment help, utility assistance.
Let's go back to DEI. That's the issue why I say that they lumped us in one category. They did that for a reason. So just in case something were to happen, then it'll make it seem like, well, the Black Americans or people of color lost their funding. But before that, we wasn't using DEI to get federal funding, and we was just fine.
Then what were we using?
We were just using federal funds that deal with certain. I can't think of the names, but I'm saying this: DEI was not the issue before.
DEI has been existing for a very long time.
Not before they implemented, maybe 8 years ago, but it wasn't always under DEI. So whenever agencies they had money sitting back just waiting to be used. As a matter of fact, me being a part of the Healthy Homes program, they had millions of dollars that were sitting there because they didn't have enough people to work.
And it was frozen.
Well, wait, no, before that happened, I'm just making an example about before that even happened, they've always had money, but they couldn't, use the money because people weren't qualified or did not want to get the credentials to do the job. Okay. So before that even happened, we had a lot of people out here that was waiting to get their homes repaired, but they said themselves, well, we got money to give to all businesses, not just white, black, anybody, but they couldn't get people to get qualified. Now, why is that? Because some people just don't want to do the job. Money was right there. So what excuse is that? So because they didn't, so we can't fix if nobody wants to get up and be responsible.
That's true too.
So the thing is, we have to look at everything. We can go back and forth on what we think is the funds, frozen. But before that, you still have to be a productive member of society.
That's very well said.
We still have to get up and listen. What about the people that were suffering under the Biden administration? Did you see them complaining? What did they do? They got out here and worked. They didn't sit around here and blamed nobody else. They had to do what was necessary. And it wasn't because they was rich. They have to get up and handle their business.
Yeah, but when you have a president that comes in and cuts everything, including Medicaid, even including let's go into it, children with health issues, that funding has been cut, programs to help these kids. A lot has been cut. Education, a lot has been cut. You don't see it to be a problem, and I want to take things even a little further.
Well, before you finish that thought,
okay.
I think people need to read the bill in its entirety because what they're doing is they're using talking points from other media outlets, and they're not really looking at the bill. So if they look at the bill, they found that it's not being cut like that. So you got to look in the bill to see what works. People are just using because it's scare tactics. But if you actually look up the bills, then you'll see that it's actually not what people think. So I digress. Go ahead.
Okay. So I want to ask you this on another note about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the reports that are coming out now with his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and all the allegations that have came about with child pornography and him messing and flirting with young girls? How do you feel about all of this?
Well, that's false, and it's not backed by any sources.
How do you know it's false?
Because I looked at the reports. I know what's false and what's
Were
not.
you there?
I wasn't there, but I know. But I can understand. I do know that. Listen. Me and you wasn't there.
Exactly.
For a lot of stuff, but guess what? We take it for face value.
So why
right?
is he so afraid for that list to come out?
Well, he's not afraid for the list to come out. I just believe that they are taking the time to make sure that all parties are protected.
Why would they try to protect any parties? If you're guilty, you're guilty. If you've done something to harm a child or been sex, human trafficking, young women underage, you don't see that to be a problem?
I see the problem, but my thing is, it was under the Biden administration. They could have released. They never did.
So let me ask you this here: if Trump's name is on that, if Trump's name is on that list, are you still going to be a Trump supporter today?
Listen to me. A lot of people.
It's just a yes or no question.
A lot of people are on the list, but it depends on what. So I would, because I know that he didn't do anything nefarious. He didn't do anything sexual misconduct.
Come on. You. There's no way possible you can know that.
So wait,
as a man being a man.
So you're telling me? So wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Now you just throwing stuff out there.
No, I'm not just throwing stuff out there, but he's mighty scared for this list to come out. The way he's moving and grooving means.
But you're not talking about the party that already had the files before Trump came along, and they didn't release it. They had 8 years to do it. No, wait a minute now. Let's talk about, and they were what?
And before then, Trump was in office also.
I answered the question.
And why didn't he release it then either?
Answer my question.
So it's been Republican, Democrat in and out of office. Why didn't a lot of them release it?
Both parties are involved.
So we can't even go back that far.
Well,
Let's talk about as of today.
Well, both
it's
parties
in
are
Trump's
involved.
hands. He's the president of the United States as of today.
No, it's in
Release
Pam
those
Bondi's hands.
files. However,
It's in Pam Bondi's hands.
however, he can also say, I want those files released.
And he did.
He's fighting to keep those files released.
No, he said he wanted released.
So we're going to move on from Donald Trump, because speaking with Brother Aaron, he's a diehard fan of Trump. Am I right or wrong?
I'm just a realist, and I know that the other party likes to play hot potato politics.
No way.
They always want to throw the other party under the bus while leaving them while we act like they haven't done anything. So they full of crap. They know it. The Democrats could have been put stuff out a long time ago.